Living in Nebraska is boring. It's nothing but farmland, grass, empty roads, and random animals for miles. I needed money to move away to somewhere more inhabited, with better Wi Fi and just more things to do besides shooting things and grilling steaks. Because of the uncertainty of some big animal popping out of nowhere, I always kept a gun on me. Well, in my routine session of driving for about 100 miles, I managed to find a diner. Generic name, generic paint job, it was the most generic diner imaginable. I pulled into the small parking lot, stepped out of my old pickup truck, and walked in. Inside, more the same from outside. Walking in, I saw a now hiring sign hanging loosely on the window. Oddly, no gun-free zone signs were on the doors, windows, or anywhere on the exterior. I see you guys are hiring. Where can I apply? I said to myself. You can simply ask for the manager, mister, a waitress replied. Weird how she heard me, but given that the diner had 4 patrons at most, she must have heard me talking to myself. Around 7 p.m., been driving for a long while, and needed a way to make money. I did just that. A muscular, tattooed, and tall man in a button-down shirt greeted me with a friendly grin and ushered me to his small office space. It reminded me of a utility closet, only bigger. It was barely big enough to hold more than a Walmart office chair, table for 2, and the filing cabinet on the side. So, sir, I see you have your identification, social security card, and other essentials for this. Is this your first job, sir? The muscular man asked. It's my first full-time job. Sold odds and ends to make money, I replied truthfully. Well, sir, just need to do a standard procedure background check, so please answer truthfully. He responded, still with a somewhat friendly tone to his voice. I have no criminal record, sir, I answered to his statement entirely truthfully. The muscular man introduced himself as Brian, shook my hand firmly, and looked in his filing cabinet. Well, sir, we do need spots for employees between midnight and 8 a.m. You earn $8.25 an hour, and your days are Thursday through Monday. Welcome to the crew. Just sign these papers and read the employee manual thoroughly, Brian said firmly yet jovially. Decent paying job, nice quiet hours, and I stepped out to a chair to read the manual. Fairly standard stuff, mostly concerning health and safety, but page 3 was something I'd never expected to see. It looked almost like a notebook paper crumpled up and smothered out as best as possible against a table edge. The rules are as follows. Rule number 1, if you are taking the trash or recycling out, always bring a flashlight. If none is found, inform the manager immediately. Rule number 2, if you're cleaning up something outside between the hours of 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., make sure you have earbuds in and the volume on max. The diner has free Wi-Fi. Rule number 3, under no circumstances is the back door to be opened between 3 and 5 a.m. No truck delivery is ever scheduled between those hours. If a truck is at the back, inform a manager immediately. Rule number 4, at all times, a walkie-talkie must be connected to at least 3 other walkie-talkies and be worn and never turned off. If the batteries are to die, wind up the crank on the back and inform everyone what has happened immediately. Rule number 5, once a week, a man in a tattered pair of sweatpants and sweat-stained t-shirt will come in at 2 a.m. If he asks for anything, provide it, no matter how strange or seemingly impossible. Rule number 6, there should be 4 employees on shift during 12 a.m. and 8 a.m. Keep count and remember Rule 4. Rule 7, under no circumstances should anyone open the door to a group of people greater than 5. Inform them that there is an equipment failure and to go to the kitchen immediately after saying that and stay there for 15 minutes. Rule number 8, If a customer comes in and mentions a weird creature in the window, use any means necessary to destroy the creature. There is a gun in the filing cabinet, and it is to be inspected for integrity, and if it is loaded completely. Rule number 9. If a rustling sound is heard from the dumpster or recycling bin in the back, use any means necessary to stop it. Fire is a last resort. And a book of matches is under the counter by the cash register. Weird that such a simple place has strange and unusual rules, I thought to myself. I signed the papers and went back to Brian to inform him. He was busy with a call and took the papers without skipping a beat. Sir, your first day is this Thursday, so 2 days from now. Please head to the door on the right, and there should be a clean uniform, hat, and walkie-talkie for you, Brian said quietly enough for the person on the other end not to hear. I looked for a shirt my size and a hat that fits my head. A few minutes of searching later, I found them and thanked Brian for the job. Walking out, an employee noticed the walkie-talkie on my hip and shook his head, almost as if he knew what was going on. Thursday eventually came and I arrived to the diner at midnight. I had my gun on me, my phone at full battery, and a backup set of batteries for the walkie-talkie. The beast took a C battery, so it was pretty heavy. I carefully reread the rules to remember them to the T, and a night shift manager introduced herself. Name's Julia, new guy. Don't get too ahead of yourself and don't fuck around, she said harshly. I'm Hank, pleased to meet you, I retorted sarcastically. The other employees, a cook with a wide scar over his eye resembling a horse hoof with chunks of meat embedded in it, introduced himself as Jeff. An older, roughly 35-year-old woman with cheap makeup on introduced herself as Henrietta. Well, moment has passed. It's 12:05 and we have another 8 hours ahead of us, so just follow the rules and get to work, Julia barked coldly, putting earbuds in her ears and playing music fairly loud. Jeff simply made himself a cup of coffee, and time flew by, and eventually it became 2:30 a.m. Soon after, a faint knock on the back door was heard. Jeff simply fired an egg while dicing some onions, and Julia was far from caring about the noise. I looked at the paper with the rules on it. Between 3 and 5 a.m. It's 2:40, so who could it possibly be? I asked myself curiously. A loud mechanical click came from over the walkie-talkie, and Julia's uncaring voice came over it. Don't open it. Remember Rule 6, new guy. How could I have forgotten? Must have been too wrapped up with dealing with the trash. I only had 10 minutes to deal with it, so I power walked to the dumpster. The hell is the rust shit? I muttered, grabbing my walkie-talkie hastily. New guy, it better be important. You have 8 minutes to get back, Julia groaned over the sound of loud rock music. There's some rustling in the dumpster, I said shakily. You got a gun, don't ya? Rule 9. Also, you did follow Rule 1, right? Julia said with slight anger and annoyance. Oh man, Rule 1, I whispered. As I muttered that, a large raccoon poked his head out and scurried off, carrying a half-eaten bit of toast in its mouth. Something peculiar about that raccoon, though. Don't know what. Jeff's walkie-talkie was making mechanical clicks and whirs. Hank, you alright out there? You gotta finish what you're doing quick and hurry back. Unspoken rule, kid, Jeff said, a bit anxious. I threw the trash bag in the dumpster and ran back inside. I slammed the heavy wooden board locked down and checked the time. 2:59, nearly 3 hours, and only a single customer who asked for an omelet with spinach and cheese. Nothing else unusual happened for that shift, so I simply did my duties, drove home, and went to bed. Hopefully tomorrow will be different. Hey guys, thank you for listening to today's creepypasta, and I hope you enjoyed. I do have a podcast called The Murder House Radio Show. Check it out. The link will be in the description below. It is a true crime podcast. But if you did like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. Hit the bell notification when you subscribe and select all to get all notifications whenever I upload. I upload 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday, at least one video a day. Now, all the long episodes and full series of creepypastas are on all major podcasting platforms under the name Deadly_Zone_Narrations. There will also be a link for it in the description. Also, go follow all the social media accounts. They are in the description below. I do have a subreddit called Deadly Narrations. The link will be in the description. Also in the description are the sources to the creepypasta and the music used, so go check those out. Let me know what creepypasta you would like to hear next, or if you have your own you would like me to narrate. Or if you have a creepypasta series you would like to hear, send them to me on any of the social medias in the DMs, or to my email address, which is also in the description, or leave them in the comments below. Also in the description is the author's social medias if they have any listed. But that's it for today's creepypasta. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time in the Deadly Zone, stay deadly and stay spooky.